Good morning, fellow inspirers. Another day of learning awakes us all. Today is the 23rd of January, and we only have 336 more shopping days left till Christmas. Cold and snow are punching the East Coast again, and Chicago is back under 0 degrees Fahrenheit. But we still have much to be thankful for. So on the second to the last Thursday in January, I continue appreciating people who have made significant impacts in my life and the rest of the lives of others. My mother and father celebrated 50 years of marital bliss last August, but I don't want to talk about that. What I do want to talk about are our longtime neighbors, Gail and Richard Bishke. My earliest memories of them were when I earned a few extra dollars babysitting their two sons, Timmy and Matt. And Gail, if you are watching this, I should have asked you for more money. The reason I write about the Bishkes is this. Because when I was serving as a U.S. Army soldier in the Gulf War, the Bishkes would send me these care packages of cookies to Saudi Arabia. And they would write a letter to me to keep me informed of what was going on back in my hometown community of Oak Park, Illinois. Now, I received a huge amount of mail and made many long-distance friends from Americans who wrote to just any soldier. And I decided that if an American was going to take the time to write, I would take the time to write back. It was no easy task, and probably not the wisest decision I ever made, since every letter, though free for me to mail and write, had to have my name, my unit, my APO address, and my social security number in the return address portion. Now, I did not keep the letters. There would have been no place to put them in my rucksack. But Richard Bishke kept the ones that I sent back to he and Gail. And upon Richard's death, the letters found their way to Gail's hands, who in turn passed them to me at my parents' 50th wedding anniversary at the 19th Century Club in Oak Park, Illinois. Last night, I reread my return letters I sent in reply to Richard and Gail, and may he rest in peace. Letters to service members are a lifeblood. The letters connect soldiers to home. Emotions run high when you don't know if you're going to survive the next patrol. And a nice warm letter from home and from an American is sometimes all you need to make it through another day. I returned 5 letters to the Bishke family. The first letter I wrote back stated that I enjoyed the cookies that they had sent, but my 7 tent mates enjoyed them even more, and I had but a few for myself. I also wrote that most of our meals in the Army were T-RATs and MREs. We had one hot meal a day. The second letter talked about how I was on detail to burn out latrines. Nothing like the smell of you-know-what in the morning time. I also had a little bit of sense of humor. I told her that we didn't have lights, so that meant no electric bill. We had limited water, so no water bill, and sometimes no water. The third letter I wrote in reply was on December 7th, 1990, the day that will live in infamy, of course. We were waiting to hear if some American hostages would be released. The letter was crisper as our unit was engaged in heavy training. By the fourth letter, I was talking about some of our military leadership who were quite nervous. In fact, one military officer was so nervous that they sent him home to command the rear detachment back at Fort Sill, Oklahoma. My fifth and final letter, sent 2 days before Christmas, I spoke about how I was winning guard mounts, getting some time off, but most importantly, my thanks for all the letters and the goodies that they were sending. I will never forget the Bishkes and their kindness, nor my other friends, my sorority sisters, fraternity brothers, church members, family members, and American citizens who just wrote to any soldier. The compassion and concern was so uplifting to my spirit. Now, I will also never forget my cousin Marilyn, who was a captain in the Air Force at that time. I was also writing to her and telling her about the harsh conditions of war in the United States Army. Do you know that my cousin Marilyn, who was on recruiting detail at that time, was taking my letters and showing them to Air Force prospects and saying to them, "See, this letter from my cousin John, who is in the Army? He is in the desert, sleeping on a cot, getting one hot meal a day and burning out latrines. This is why you want to join the Air Force. You won't sleep on a cot, and we're going to find you a nicer hotel to stay in." If you get a chance to get to your local USO or military installation, take some time and write one of America's men and women who are serving in defense of our country. You will make their day, just like the Bishkes made mine. And you will have gone forth and inspired your world. My name is John Register. See you next time.